and welcome to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be doing a bit of a weekend vlog, sort of, in the sense that it's not technically the weekend yet. The day I'm filming this right now is Friday, but I just got off work. So that basically means it's the weekend. So that's what I'm rolling with for now. I have one singular plan for this entire week, and the rest of the stuff that I'm going to be doing in this vlog is just whatever I want to do. So to start off this vlog, I am going to be heading to a local coffee cart that I've actually been to in a previous video. It is genuinely so good. It's called My Beans Coffee, and the thing that I love the most to get from there is this drink that is a chai, but they add cherry into it, and it is just so good. So good. Like, if I could only drink 5 drinks for the rest of my life, that would undoubtedly be in the top 3. I'm actually also thinking that I want to get one for my mom, because I have told her about this coffee cart multiple times, and I've actually gotten her the drink once before. But the way that their scheduling works, they're very rarely open when my mom is not at work. So I am going to get one for her and take it to her at work. And I already know what I'm going to do next after I get my drinks, but I will update you in just a bit. All right, so I am actually now home and am done with my excursions for the day. I was able to get 2 cherry chais from My Beans, and I was able to drop one off for my mom. She loved it. She was very thankful, very excited. And I'm not even joking. I drank my entire drink on the way to give her hers, and it could not have been more than like a 10-minute drive max. I literally need like an IV of that drink. It is so good. Today was actually my second time visiting them this week, because they actually dropped some stickers and a tote bag for, I believe, the first time ever, and they're at a discounted price this week. So I wanted to stop by and grab one of those, and this is what it looks like. It's very simple, but I am so obsessed with it, and I can't wait to like be carrying it around. And if people are like, oh my gosh, what's that? I can be like, oh my gosh, it's this super cute like coffee cart. You should totally check it out. And I also got this little sticker that just says the same thing. I do have a little sticker anxiety though, so I don't know where exactly I'm going to be putting that necessarily. Hopefully I will figure it out at some point. But after dropping off my mom's drink, I went over to my favorite sushi restaurant that I talk about all the time on this channel. I went over and got one of my favorite sushi rolls that they have, which is called the Shrimp Volcano Roll. And it was half price this week because they do half priced rolls every week. And it was so nice. They actually gave me a Sprite for free, just threw it in. And they also gave me a side of crab rangoons for free, just for, I don't know, showing up, supporting. And it was so sweet. And I actually already ate the crab rangoons on the way home, so. But actually, let me show you what the sushi roll looks like, because if you've never heard me talk about this specific roll before, then you don't know. But the base is a California roll, which is just avocado, crab. But then the thing that makes it a volcano roll, specifically a shrimp volcano roll, is that they literally pile on top a bunch of crab and shrimp and sauces. Like, is that not literally insane? It's absolutely perfect. And if I could eat just this for the rest of my life, I would. And the last thing I did while I was out was I went to Barnes & Noble and got a book that I've actually been kind of watching and waiting for the release of, but then I kind of forgot that it was being released until a couple days ago. And actually, the reason I remembered is because tomorrow is May 30th, which is the day that Taylor Swift got her master's back. The significance of that is that last year, when it was announced that she had bought back her master's, it was a huge deal for all Swifties, right? Like, we were so excited. We were able to stream the original albums without like feeling guilty again. It was so great and so amazing. And I just like remember being on such a high when I saw her Instagram post. I would say in my top 10 like feelings of being a fangirl. But I wanted to do something to kind of celebrate that today. And I was originally going to get a vinyl of one of her albums just to, you know, feed into the Swiftie economy. However, I could not find one from a local indie record store, and I really would have preferred to get one from there. So I decided to go with a book that, again, like I was talking about earlier, I had kind of been keeping track of before it was actually released and then forgot about it until literally last night, and that would be a book called The Story of Us by Olivia Levin. It's a book about how the Swiftie fandom as a whole has kind of shaped the course of so many people's lives and fandom culture as a whole. I am genuinely so excited to dive into this, and even more excited that when I'm done with it, I'll be able to put it on my little Taylor Swift shelf on my bookcase. And that is the last of my little shopping spree for the day. I am now going to take a little bit of time to eat my sushi for lunch, and I think I'm actually going to pull up and watch some Gossip Girl because I was reminded on my timeline today that I still have not finished that show. Somehow, even though I literally started it last year, like at the beginning of last year. I don't even remember when I started it, but it has been a very long time. And quite frankly, I should have finished it a while ago, like a long while ago. But I am slowly army crawling through the last season. So I'm hoping that I can get a couple of episodes in while I eat my food. And when I'm done with that, I will get back to you. So it is now the next day, and today is the day that I have those plans that I was talking about at the beginning of my video. But before we get too far into that, kind of want to go over what all I did this morning / what I'm still planning to do with my morning. You might think I am absolutely insane, especially because I literally showed myself getting one yesterday and told you that I got one the day before, but I went again to My Beans Coffee and got another cherry chai. And it is so good. I am not exaggerating when I say that I need this in my literal bloodstream. I'm actually so relieved too, because when I got there, it was super busy because they were at a car event, but I was able to get my drink, and not even like 5 minutes after I left, they posted on their story that they had officially sold out of everything. So I got there just in time, and I was incredibly happy for it. I've also done quite a bit of reading this morning because I have been stuck in the first like 20% of this book for nearly the entire month of May, and that is not an exaggeration. Like, I literally was on page like 80 or something like that yesterday, but today I have read nearly 100 pages because I am now on page 179, and it looks like I'm pretty much halfway through this book, finally, which I don't think I actually said what it is. It's Passion Project by London Sperry. I'm honestly really irritated at myself that I've been putting off like actually picking this book up for so long. I do think though that it's because I see myself in the female main character, and you might be thinking, wait, isn't that exactly why you'd want to pick up a book? Not exactly in this scenario, because our female main character in this book is unfortunately kind of going through it and doesn't really have a passion or like something that she really loves, and because of it, it's kind of affecting all the areas of her life. And though I'm not necessarily experiencing that in this exact moment in time, I have definitely felt it before a lot, and quite frankly, I'm sure I'll feel it again in the future. So to be seen and understood and see my thoughts on a page is kind of a little scary, especially when they're not always like great thoughts. So Again, I think that's kind of partially why I was putting it off. However, I'm done putting it off because I do want to finish this book because it is so good. Probably going to continue to read this book until I head out for my plans, which is, drumroll please, a book fair. I have not been to a book fair in actually a couple of months. I feel like there was one recently, but it's been far too long, in my opinion. I am very, very, very excited because there are so many vendors that I want to check out and so many authors that I am hoping to get books from or at least talk to. And I just love a book fair. I love a book fair. I am going to be going with my friend Rachel, who you have undoubtedly seen in previous videos. And I think we've decided that even once we're done like shopping or like looking around, we're going to find a place to sit and read for a while. Which actually brings me to another point. I am going to be bringing this book, obviously, but since I am halfway done and I've honestly been kind of running through it this morning, I am going to bring a second book, and that book is Violet Thistlethwaite is Not a Villain Anymore by Emily Krempfoltz. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that name, but here it is. The author of this book, Emily, is going to be at another bookish event that I'm going to in like mid-June. So I want to be able to have read a couple of authors that are going to be there, their books before I actually meet them. Maybe bring the books, get them signed, that kind of thing. And now I'm going to spend the rest of my morning reading until I head out for the book fair, and I guess I will update you once I'm there. All right, so we are now at the book fair. We have already done some shopping because I forgot to even start the vlog when we got here. I was just so excited to start buying stuff. We both got matchas with lemonade and like mango.
And it's mango.
And it's so good.
It's really good. This is
really
my second one.
It's true. We got back in line and got a second one. I also got a shirt and a book already, but I will give you a haul a little bit later once I actually have done some damage. But now we're gonna just kind of wander around, probably spend too much money, and have a great time. So we'll come back to you in just a bit. So after nearly 5 hours of being at the book fair, I am now finally home and very ready to give you guys a haul. I actually decided preemptively that I was going to bring an extra tote bag to the book fair along with the one that I just carry with me all the time so that I could carry any books or shirts or anything else that I got while I was there. And I am very glad that I had that foresight because I literally filled this entire bag with stuff. And obviously I know you can't tell through a screen how heavy this is, but trust me, once we actually go through all the contents, you will understand how heavy it is. I ended up getting 2 different shirts that I have actually been wanting since the last book fair, or just the last time that I have seen these 2 vendors, but one of them is a bit of a cropped cream shirt and it says book lover on it, which I am absolutely obsessed with. I think it's very cute and it's not necessarily subtle because it does literally say book lover, but I think it's very like minimalist, and I love that type of look when it comes to like bookish merch specifically. And this shirt is from a small business called YGG Threads. Then I also got another cream shirt that says, I hate it here, so I will go to secret gardens in my mind, which obviously is very bookish, but if you know, then you know that that is Taylor Swift lyrics for her song, I Hate It Here. And I love that song. I remember listening to that song for the first time and being like, oh my God, she's in my walls. Like literally, she ripped pages out of my diary and wrote this song. That's absolutely insane. And I have been looking and trying desperately to find merch with this song that I really like. And this is definitely that. I am obsessed with like all the flowers on the book in the middle. I just love it so much. And now the rest of the stuff that is in this bag is books. So let's get into it. First, I went to a stall that was like a bookstore type deal and found this absolutely precious Disney like White Christmas book. And I think it is so, so cute. I am very excited to read this to my nephews. And at that same bookstore, I got the next book in the ACOTAR series, which is A Court of Wings and Ruin, because if you've been following me for a little bit, you know that I just finished A Court of Mist and Fury, and it is so good, and I cannot wait to get into this next book. Am I going to read it immediately? I'm honestly not sure, because I do have a very long TBR that I want to like finish by a specific date. But I don't know how long I can wait to start this book. So it might just have to be happening simultaneously. Oh my gosh, I also just realized I don't think I said the name of where that other shirt is from. It's from Nicole Studios. Nicole spelled Nichol, and then Studios spelled Studios. And these two books were from Gather and Glow. At another bookstore, I got the third book in the off-campus series, which is The Score, because this is Allie and Dean's book. And if you've watched the show or are keeping up with the show, then you know that season 2 is gonna be their season. So now I actually have to read The Mistake, which is book 2, because I haven't read that, and then this one, and hopefully that will prepare me for this upcoming season. Also, I just found the little card for Nicole Studios. This is how it's spelled, not the way that I said earlier. And then the last book that I got from a bookstore stall was Light Guard by Haley Turner. Haley Turner is going to be one of the authors attending a different bookish event that I am going to in June that I think I talked about earlier. But if I didn't, it's called Magic and Meet Cutes, and I am very excited. And this is one of those books that I was really hoping to read before actually going to this event so that I could talk about it with the author and maybe get her to sign it. And I didn't actually have a copy, and I have been looking for one literally everywhere, haven't been able to find one, and I finally got one. And I'm so happy about it. And now we get to discuss all the books that I got directly from authors and got signed. The first book I got was A Dance of Asuras, I believe is how you pronounce that, and it is by N. Patel Baxi. The author herself described this as a bit of a Persephone and Hades retelling, and I love anything that has to do with Greek mythology or like in relation to that, so I knew that I wanted to get this one for sure. Next, I got a book called Crowded Tables by Annalee Thomason. This is actually one of the few contemporary romances that I got today. The rest are mostly like fantasy and that type of deal, but I was just immediately drawn in by this cover. I think the art style is so unique and so pretty, and I love a book that deals with grief, and this one does, so I am very excited to read it. Next, we have Bloody Black by Rhiannon Hargadon. I really struggle with reading names sometimes, so I apologize. This is supposed to be a book where it's basically a female Blackbeard, and I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that, so I am incredibly excited for this one. And the last book I got was A Dance of Light and Shadows by Haley Davis. I am honestly a little psychotic when it comes to these book fairs, particularly because I will look up every single author and look into a bunch of their books that they've written, and if it intrigues me, then I'll put it on a list and like specifically put which books interest me so that I know like what to look out for. And this was one of the first ones that caught my eye. So my total haul of books is 8 books. The book fair itself was genuinely so much fun. We had the best time. We were just wandering around, looking at all of the bookish like merch and stuff, and looking at all the books and like getting inspired to read certain books and that type of thing. We wandered for probably like an hour and a half, and then we got some food, we sat and read for a little bit, and we stayed until basically 30 minutes before the book fair ended. So I would say it was a pretty successful day. And now that I am back home, I'm kind of just going to relax for the rest of the night. I am going to probably change into some pajamas. I'm going to read a bit more. I'm gonna have some dinner. But one specific thing that I want to do before I wrap up this vlog is go ahead and finish the book that I'm currently reading, because I really am so close to the end, like so close. And I feel like I've read 2 books in May. And that's just not gonna cut it for my monthly TBR, or at least in my eyes, it's not gonna cut it. So I am really trying to finish it before then, before May totally wraps up. So let's see if I can finish it tonight. It is now the next day and I have officially finished Passion Project. I actually finished it last night, but it was like nearly midnight, so I didn't really want to pull out my camera and do an update in that exact moment. But yeah, I finished it and I ended up really loving it. There were definitely a couple of moments where I was very frustrated with specific characters, and then other moments where I was on their side and frustrated with another character. But I feel like that's just life. You know what I mean? That's just real life. Like sometimes you get angry with someone or have like a fight with someone, or there's a miscommunication and you don't talk to that person for a couple of days and there's just a bubbling anger there. And I don't know, I just really liked this book. I will now be starting my next book, which is Violet Thistlethwaite is Not the Villain Anymore. But I think that's all that I have for the rest of today's video, because the day that I'm filming this clip right now is actually the morning of the day that I'm going to be uploading this video. So there's not much else that I have planned and not much else that I can do before I need to start editing this video. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!